The bidding starts at $1 million. I stand on the auction stage in a designer dress I didn't choose, under lights that make my skin look porcelain, while men in $1,000 suits raise numbered paddles like I'm a painting or a yacht. 2 million, someone calls from the back. I keep my face blank, emotionless. That's what they trained me to do. Show nothing, feel nothing, be nothing but beautiful and silent. 3 million, another voice. I scan the crowd, looking for the man who orchestrated this, the one who pulled me from the rubble 3 years ago and rebuilt me into this. But he's not here. He never attends his own auctions. 5 million. The bid comes from a man in the front row. Older, desperate. I can see the hunger in his eyes. I'm lot number 7. A rare acquisition, the auctioneer had said. Trained, educated, and completely untraceable. No past, no family, no one will come looking. He has no idea how right he is. No one will come looking because everyone thinks I'm already dead. 7 million. A new voice. Cold. Familiar. My breath stops. I know that voice. I know it the way I know my own heartbeat. My own breathing. I know it from whispered promises in the dark, from vows spoken in a flower-filled church, from the last words he said before the world exploded around me. I love you, Isabelle. I'll keep you safe. I promise. I turn toward the voice and my carefully constructed mask cracks. Because sitting in the third row, paddle raised, face carved from stone and fury, is Dominic Russo, my husband. The man who thinks I died in a car bomb 3 years ago. The man who buried an empty casket with my name on it. The man who has no idea that the woman he's about to buy for millions of dollars is me. Before we continue, please subscribe to Scarlet Romance Tales for stories that will break your heart and put it back together. Now, let's see how this impossible situation unfolds. 3 years ago, I was Isabelle Marino, daughter of Antonio Marino, one of New York's most powerful crime bosses, wife to Dominic Russo, heir to the Russo family empire. We married to unite our families, to stop a war that had been brewing for decades. They called it a political arrangement, a strategic alliance. They weren't there on our wedding night when Dominic kissed me like I was oxygen. They didn't see the way he looked at me every morning like I was the sunrise. They didn't hear him whisper that marrying me was the best decision he ever made. For 8 perfect months, I had everything. Then someone planted a bomb in my car. I remember the explosion, the heat, the pain, the certainty that I was dying. I woke up 6 weeks later in a medical facility that didn't exist on any map, with a man named Victor standing over me. "Your family thinks you're dead," he'd said in accented English. "Your husband buried you. The war you prevented with your marriage has started anyway. You're more valuable to me alive and disappeared than dead." He'd taken everything. My name, my identity, my life. He'd healed my injuries, erased my scars with surgery, trained me in languages and etiquette, and how to be the perfect companion for wealthy criminals who needed beautiful, intelligent women who knew when to speak and when to disappear. For 3 years, I've been a ghost, a commodity, waiting for a chance to escape. And now Dominic is here, bidding on me like I'm property, and he has no idea. 8 million, Dominic says, his voice cutting through my memories. The older man in front counters. 9 million. I should signal somehow. Should break protocol. Should do something to let Dominic know it's me. But Victor's training is thorough. And more than that, I see Dominic's face. And it's changed. Harder. Colder. The grief has carved lines around his eyes. His jaw is set in permanent anger. He's not the man I married. He's what 3 years of mourning and war have made him. 10 million, Dominic says flatly. Final offer. The room goes silent. The auctioneer looks to the older man who shakes his head in defeat. "Sold to paddle number 15. Mr. Russo, she's yours." She's yours. I was always his. He just doesn't know it yet. They take me backstage to process the transaction. Victor's people are efficient. Paperwork, transfers, instructions. The woman handling me doesn't meet my eyes. You'll go with Mr. Russo tonight, she says, checking her tablet. Remember your training. Be compliant. Be useful. Don't ask questions about your past. I understand. Good. She finally looks at me, and there's pity in her eyes. Russo has a reputation. He's not cruel, but he's intense. Try not to disappoint him. I almost laugh. Disappoint him? I'm his dead wife standing 3 feet away, and he bought me like a vintage car. Dominic enters the room, and my heart stops. Up close, the changes are even more apparent. He's lost weight, gained muscle. There's a scar above his left eyebrow that wasn't there before. His eyes, those warm brown eyes that used to look at me with such love, are now cold and assessing. He studies me with the detachment of someone evaluating an acquisition. What's your name? Victor gave me a new one. Sophia. Sophia. He tests it, and I hear nothing in his voice. No recognition. How long have you been with Victor's organization? 3 years. Something flickers in his expression. 3 years. The same amount of time I've been dead. I bought you for a specific purpose, Dominic continues. All business. I need a companion for social events. Someone intelligent who can hold a conversation with diplomats and criminals alike. Someone who understands this world but isn't part of any family. I understand. You'll live in my home. You'll accompany me to functions. You'll be available when I need you and invisible when I don't. His eyes narrow. Victor assured me you're educated. Prove it. It's a test. I switch to flawless Italian. I speak 6 languages fluently. I have degrees in international relations and art history. I can discuss opera, politics, or philosophy with equal competence. Dominic's eyebrow raises. He responds in Italian. Where did you study? I name a university in Switzerland, part of my false background. The real answer is Columbia, where Dominic and I met in an economics class 8 years ago. Impressive. He switches back to English. I have one rule. Don't lie to me. Ever. About anything. The irony is suffocating. My entire existence is a lie. But I meet his gaze and nod. I understand. Good. He turns to leave, then pauses. You look familiar. Have we met? My heart slams against my ribs. I don't believe so. He studies me for another long moment, and I see him trying to place me. But my face has changed. Subtle surgical alterations that kept Victor's investment valuable. My nose is slightly different. My cheekbones are higher. My eyes are the same green, but colored contacts turn them blue. I'm a ghost of who I was. Familiar enough to haunt him. Different enough to fool him. Perhaps you just have one of those faces, he says finally. Let's go. I follow Dominic Russo, my husband, my love, my widower, out of the building and into his car. And I have no idea how I'm going to survive this without him discovering the truth. The drive to Dominic's estate is silent. I sit in the back of his SUV, watching the city pass by, while he makes phone calls in rapid Italian. Business. Always business. That hasn't changed. We pass through gates I recognize, the Russo family compound in Westchester. My heart clenches. I used to live here. This was my home. The main house looks the same. Massive, elegant, intimidating. But something's different. The gardens are less maintained. The lights seem dimmer. Dominic's driver opens my door, and I step out onto gravel I've walked 1,000 times. This way, Dominic says, leading me not to the main house but to a smaller residence on the property, the guest house where we used to escape when family gatherings got too intense. We made love in that house, planned our future, dreamed about children. Now he's bringing me here like I'm a stranger. Inside, everything is pristine. Modern furniture. No personal touches. It's been converted into sterile luxury accommodations. You'll stay here, Dominic says, pulling back curtains to reveal the view. It's separate from the main house, private. You'll have freedom within the compound, but you don't leave without permission. I understand. There's a wardrobe in the bedroom. Clothes in your size. I had my assistant order them based on the measurements Victor provided. He moves through the space with practiced efficiency. I expect you to be available for events on short notice. My assistant will send you a schedule. He's treating me like a highly paid employee, which, I suppose, is exactly what I am now. Do you have questions? He asks. About 1,000. Starting with, do you still love me? Do you think about me? Did you remarry? But I ask the safe one. What happened 3 years ago? Dominic's expression shudders. Excuse me? You mentioned this has been difficult. 3 years difficult. For a moment, I think he'll shut me down. Tell me it's none of my business. But something in his face cracks, just slightly. My wife died, he says quietly. Car bomb. They never found enough of her body to identify, but we buried what we could. The families went to war anyway. Everything she died trying to prevent happened regardless. The pain in his voice is a knife to my chest. I'm sorry. Don't be. You didn't know her. He turns away, staring out the window. She was everything, and someone took her from me. I've spent 3 years trying to find out who, trying to make them pay. Did you? Some of them. His hands curl into fists. Not all. Not the one who gave the order. I want to tell him. Want to cross the room and throw my arms around him and say, I'm here. I'm alive. It's me. But Victor has people everywhere. If Dominic learns the truth, if he reacts, Victor will know. And Victor doesn't leave loose ends. I need to be smarter. Need to find a way to expose Victor and escape his control before I reveal myself. So instead I say, she must have been extraordinary for you to love her so much. Dominic's laugh is bitter. She was, and I failed her. How? I promised to keep her safe. He finally turns to look at me. I promised, and I failed. So now I don't make promises I can't keep. The weight of his grief is suffocating. I want to fix it. Want to heal him. But I'm trapped in this charade, and all I can do is watch him suffer. Get some rest, Dominic says, moving toward the door. I have an event tomorrow night. Formal. You'll accompany me. Of course. He pauses at the door, hand on the frame. Sophia? Yes? Thank you. For what? For not asking more questions. For not... He trails off. For just being professional. If he only knew. The next morning, I wake in a bed that smells wrong. Everything here smells wrong. The soap, the sheets, the air. It doesn't smell like Dominic anymore. I shower and find the wardrobe he mentioned. Dozens of designer dresses, all elegant, all appropriate for a Mafia princess. Or a Mafia wife. There's a knock at the door. When I answer, there's a woman in her 50s with kind eyes and a familiar face. Maria? The name escapes before I can stop it. She blinks. Yes? Have we met? Maria was the Russo family's head housekeeper. She used to sneak me extra desserts and tell me stories about Dominic's childhood. No. Sorry, I must have heard your name somewhere. I recover quickly. Can I help you? She studies me with unnerving intensity. Mr. Russo asked me to check if you need anything, and to tell you the event tonight is the Castellano Charity Gala. My blood runs cold. The Castellano family. My family. Will Mr. Russo's in-laws be there? I ask carefully. Maria's expression softens with sadness. The Marino family? Yes. Mrs. Russo's father and brother still attend these functions. It's difficult for Mr. Russo seeing them. But he never misses. My father. My brother Marco. They'll be there. This is either my best chance to make contact or the most dangerous situation imaginable. I understand, I say. Maria lingers. You remind me of someone. My heart stops. Oh? Mr. Russo's late wife. Isabelle. She shakes her head. Not in looks, exactly, but something about your voice, your mannerisms. I'm sorry, that must be painful. It is. Maria's eyes shine with tears. She was like a daughter to me. When she died, she stops herself. Forgive me. You don't need to hear an old woman's grief. It's okay, I say softly. She sounds like she was loved. More than she knew. Maria straightens, professional again. The event is at 7. A car will come at 6:30. After she leaves, I sit on the bed and let myself cry for the first time in 3 years. The dress Dominic's assistant selected is midnight blue silk. Elegant, conservative, expensive. I almost laugh when I see it. It's the exact shade of the dress I wore to our first date. Either it's a coincidence or somewhere deep in his subconscious Dominic remembers. I'm ready by 6, giving myself time to prepare mentally. Tonight, I'll see my father and brother for the first time in 3 years. They think I'm dead. They buried an empty casket and mourned a daughter, a sister. How do I stand in front of them and pretend to be a stranger? The knock comes precisely at 6:30. Dominic himself, not a driver. He's in a custom tuxedo that makes him look like dark temptation, and when he sees me, something flickers in his eyes. "You look beautiful," he says, and there's a roughness in his voice that wasn't there this morning. "Thank you." He offers his arm, and I take it. The contact sends electricity through me, muscle memory of 1,000 times I've held this arm, walked beside this man. In the car, he briefs me. The Castellano Gala is one of the major social events. All the families attend. It's neutral ground. We pretend to be civilized. And are you? Civilized? His smile is sharp. Only when necessary. Who will be there tonight that I should know about? Everyone. He ticks off names, families I recognize, allies and enemies both. Then he pauses. The Marino family will be there. Antonio and Marco. My father and brother. Should I know them? I ask carefully. They were my wife's family. Now they're complicated. His jaw tightens. Antonio blames me for Isabelle's death. Marco wants to restart the war. It's tense. How do you handle it? I don't engage. I acknowledge them, stay professional, and leave before things escalate. He looks at me. You should avoid them entirely. If Antonio thinks I've replaced Isabelle with another woman, it won't end well. But I haven't replaced Isabelle. I am Isabelle. The gala is at the Castellano estate, a mansion that rivals the Russo compound. We arrive to camera flashes and security that could protect a president. Dominic keeps me close, his hand at the small of my back. We move through the crowd and I see the looks. Curiosity, speculation, judgment. Who is this woman with Dominic Russo? Mr. Russo. A smooth voice. I turn to see Luca Castellano, the host. Good to see you. And who is this? Sophia, Dominic says simply. My companion for the evening. Luca's smile doesn't reach his eyes. Charming. Well, enjoy the party. We move on, but I feel the weight of attention. Then I see them. My father and brother, across the room. Antonio Marino looks older, gray in his hair, lines on his face that weren't there before. My brother Marco stands beside him, tall and angry and so familiar. My chest aches. They're talking to someone, haven't noticed us yet. I have time to prepare. That's them, Dominic murmurs, following my gaze. We should... Dominic. Antonio's voice cuts through the ambient noise. Too late. My father approaches, and every instinct screams to run to him, to hug him, to tell him I'm alive. But I freeze, force my face into polite neutrality. Antonio. Dominic's voice is respectful, but cool. Marco. Marco's eyes land on me, and I see the flash of... something. Confusion? Recognition? Russo. My father's voice is ice. I didn't expect to see you here with a date. Sophia is my companion, not a date. Semantics? Antonio's gaze rakes over me, and I see the pain underneath his anger. She's young, beautiful, convenient. Watch yourself, Dominic warns. Or what? You'll get her killed too? The words are knives. Marco touches our father's arm. Papa, not here. But Antonio isn't done. He looks at me directly. What's your name, girl? Sophia. My voice is steadier than I feel. Sophia. He tests it, just like Dominic did. You look familiar. Have we met? I don't believe so, sir. He's studying me too closely. You remind me of someone, my daughter. She died 3 years ago. The room tilts. I want to scream, I'm here, I'm alive. Papa, it's me. Instead, I say softly, I'm sorry for your loss. Are you? His voice breaks slightly. Do you know what it's like to bury your child? To know that the man standing beside you is responsible? That's enough, Dominic says, voice dangerous. Is it? Antonio steps closer. You promised to protect her, Russo. You swore at the wedding that you'd keep her safe. And where is she now? Papa. Please. Marco is trying to intervene, but Antonio won't stop. Tell me, Russo, do you think about her? Do you remember what she looked like? Or have you already replaced her with this pretty distraction? Dominic's entire body is rigid with rage, but his voice stays controlled. I think about Isabelle every day. Every single day since she died in my arms, while I screamed for help that came too late. Every day when I wake up and she's not there. Every day when I see something beautiful and want to share it with her. Every goddamn day, Antonio. The rawness in his voice destroys me. Then why is she here? Antonio gestures at me. Because I'm still alive, and I have obligations. Dominic's hand at my back is trembling. Because the world didn't stop when Isabelle died, even though mine did. Because I'm doing the best I can. My father's anger crumbles into grief. I miss her. So do I, Dominic whispers. Marco finally pulls Antonio away, and I see my brother's eyes one more time. There's something there. A question. A suspicion. He knows. Not consciously, maybe, but some part of him recognizes me. Dominic steers me toward the exit. We're leaving. I'm sorry. Don't. He's barely holding it together. Just don't. In the car, Dominic doesn't speak. He stares out the window, jaw clenched, and I see him fighting tears. She died in your arms? I whisper. Not her. Someone else. A decoy they used to make me think I'd found her. His voice is hollow. They staged a death scene, made me believe I was holding Isabelle while she died. By the time I realized it wasn't her, the real her was already gone. Burned beyond recognition in the car. Oh God. Victor didn't just fake my death, he tortured Dominic with it. I'm sorry, I say uselessly. Everyone's sorry. He finally looks at me. But sorry doesn't bring her back, does it? No. But being alive might. Back at the compound, Dominic walks me to the guest house. At the door, he pauses. I shouldn't have brought you tonight. Shouldn't have put you in that situation. It's okay. No, it's not. He runs a hand through his hair. You didn't sign up to be part of my grief. Maybe that's exactly what I signed up for. He looks at me then. Really looks at me. And for a moment, I think he sees through the disguise. Sees the truth. You're kind, he says finally. Isabelle was kind too. He leaves before I can respond. Inside, I collapse on the couch and let myself fall apart. Seeing my father, my brother, hearing Dominic talk about my death. It's too much. I need to end this. Need to find a way to expose Victor and reclaim my life. But tonight, all I can do is mourn what I've lost. The next 2 weeks establish a pattern. Dominic keeps me busy with social events. Dinners, fundraisers, business meetings where I'm expected to be charming and decorative. I play the role perfectly because I've had 3 years of training and a lifetime of being a Mafia daughter. But something's shifting. Dominic starts spending more time with me, not just at events, but after. We have late-night conversations over wine. He asks about my past, carefully manufactured lies. My opinions, carefully considered truths. My dreams, impossible fantasies I can't voice. And I learn about the man he's become. He's throwing himself into business, both legitimate and otherwise. He's expanded the Russo empire aggressively, like he's trying to outrun grief through work. He still wears his wedding ring. One night, 2 weeks after the gala, we're in his study. I've been researching a potential business partner for him, due diligence that requires my language skills and legal background. This clause, I say, pointing to the contract. It's problematic. They're trying to bury liability for quality issues in subcontracts. Dominic leans over my shoulder to look, and his proximity makes my breath catch. He smells the same. Expensive cologne and something uniquely him. Good catch, he murmurs. Isabelle used to do this. Review my contracts. Find the problems I missed. She studied law? Economics. But she was brilliant with numbers and loopholes. His voice is soft with memory. She would have liked you. My throat tights. Why do you say that? You're smart. Independent. You don't fear me, even though you probably should. He straightens, moving away. She was the same. Everyone else in my life is afraid or wants something. She just saw me. I still see you, I want to say. I'm right here. Tell me about her, I say instead. Dominic is quiet for so long I think he won't answer. Then, we married for politics, but it became real so fast. She made me laugh, made me want to be better, made me believe I could be more than just my father's heir. He walks to the window, looking out at the dark grounds. The night she died, we'd fought. Something stupid. I don't even remember what. I was supposed to drive her to dinner, but I got caught in a meeting. I told her to take her car. I'd meet her there. His voice breaks. If I'd been with her, if I'd driven, it would have been my car that exploded. She'd be alive. I cross to him without thinking, placing my hand on his arm. You can't blame yourself. Can't I? He looks down at me, and the anguish in his eyes is devastating. I promised to protect her, Sophia. That was my job. My only job. And I failed. She wouldn't want you to destroy yourself over this. How would you know? Because anyone who loved you that much would want you to live, to be happy, to find peace. His hand covers mine on his arm. You sound very certain. I am. We stand like that, close enough to kiss, and I feel the pull between us. It's not new attraction. It's old love recognizing itself despite the disguise. Sophia, he says quietly, I should tell you. His phone rings. The moment shatters. Dominic answers, his expression shifting to business. When? Where? I'll be there in 20 minutes. He hangs up. I have to go. Situation that needs handling. Is everything okay? Define okay. He's already moving, grabbing his jacket. Stay here. Don't leave the compound. I'll be back by morning. He's gone before I can ask more questions. I'm alone in his study, surrounded by his life, and I do something reckless. I start searching. Not his computer. That's too risky. But the physical files in his cabinet. I'm looking for anything about my death, any clues about Victor, any thread I can pull. What I find is a drawer full of grief. Photos of us. Our wedding album. Love letters I wrote him during our engagement. A dried rose from my bridal bouquet. Every evidence that Dominic Russo is a man who loved his wife desperately and never moved on. And underneath it all, a file labeled Isabelle Investigation. My hands shake as I open it. Inside are reports from private investigators, security footage, autopsy photos of someone else, the decoy he mentioned, witness statements, forensic analyses, and one note in Dominic's handwriting. Find who did this. Make them pay. He's been investigating my death for 3 years, chasing leads, following dead ends. He doesn't know about Victor, doesn't know about the auction, doesn't know about any of it. But he's getting close. There are names in these files I recognize. Victor's associates, people involved in the trafficking operation. If Dominic keeps digging, he'll find Victor. And if he finds Victor, I'm as good as dead. I need to act first. I photograph pages with my phone, careful to put everything back exactly as I found it. Then I leave his study and return to the guest house. There's a burner phone hidden in my room. Victor's people insisted I keep it for emergencies. I've never used it. Tonight, I send a message. Need extraction. Cover blown. Russo knows. It's a lie. But Victor will have to respond, and his response will tell me how to proceed. The answer comes within minutes. Location. 48 hours. 2 days. That's all I have to figure this out. The next morning, Dominic returns, looking exhausted. There's blood on his shirt cuff. Not his. What happened? I ask when he finds me in the garden. Business? He won't elaborate. Are you okay? You didn't leave? I'm fine. I stayed put like you asked. He studies me. You were in my study. My blood runs cold. I can smell your perfume. What were you doing? I could lie, should lie, but something makes me tell a version of the truth. I was curious. About Isabelle. About why you're still so broken over her. And what did you find? That you loved her more than most people love anything in their entire lives. I meet his eyes. That you're never going to move on because you don't want to. Because holding on to grief is the only way you know how to hold on to her. Dominic's expression is unreadable. You think I'm stuck. I think you're faithful. I step closer. Even in death. Especially in death. And I think Isabelle was incredibly lucky to be loved like that. Something in his face shifts. Before I can react, he's kissing me. It's desperate and wrong and perfect. His hands frame my face, and I taste coffee and grief and 3 years of loneliness. I kiss him back, muscle memory taking over. This is my husband, my love, mine. When we break apart, we're both breathing hard. I shouldn't have done that, Dominic says. Why did you? Because for the first time in 3 years, I felt something other than pain. His thumb brushes my cheek. Because you make me feel alive again? Dominic, I know it's wrong. I know you're not her. I know I bought you at an auction and this is completely inappropriate. He steps back. But God help me, Sophia, I'm falling for you. My heart shatters and soars at the same time. You don't even know me, I whisper. Then let me know you. His voice is urgent. Give me a chance. I know this situation is bizarre, but I can't. Why not? Because I'm the ghost you're still in love with. Because this is more complicated than you can imagine. Because in 47 hours, Victor's people are going to try to extract me, and I need to be ready. Because you deserve the truth, I say instead. And I'm not sure I can give it to you. Try. I look at this man, this beautiful, broken man who's my husband and doesn't know it, and make a decision. Tomorrow night, I'll tell you everything. But tonight, just let me have tonight. Have tonight for what? To be Sophia. To pretend this is simple. To. He kisses me again, and this time it's slower. Deeper. Full of promise and impossibility. Stay with me tonight, he says against my lips. In the main house. In my room. Just stay. I should say no. Should keep distance. Should protect us both. But I've spent 3 years being dead, and I'm so tired of being a ghost. Yes, I whisper. I'll stay. Dominic's bedroom is both familiar and foreign. The furniture is the same. Our bed, the dresser where I kept my jewelry, the reading chair by the window. But everything else has changed. The room is darker, emptier. Like he's stripped away anything that reminded him too much of happiness. I haven't brought anyone here, he says, watching me take it in. Not since. You don't have to explain. I want to. He crosses to the window, the same one where I used to stand in the mornings. After Isabelle died, I couldn't sleep in here for months. Everything smelled like her. Every corner had a memory. What changed? Nothing. I just got tired of running from ghosts. He turns to face me. But tonight, for the first time, this room doesn't feel haunted. It feels possible. I want to tell him why. Want to explain that the ghost he's been running from is standing in front of him. But first, I need to buy time. Dominic, tomorrow when I tell you the truth, you might hate me. I doubt that. You don't know what I'm going to say. Then tell me now. He crosses to me, taking my hands. Sophia, I don't care what your past is. I don't care what brought you to that auction. I just care about who you are right now, in this moment. And who am I? Someone who sees me, someone who makes me feel human again. His grip tightens. Someone I think I could love, if you'd let me. The words break something in my chest. I'm not who you think I am, I whisper. Then show me who you really are. So I do. I kiss him like I'm Isabelle, not Sophia. Like I'm his wife, not his acquisition. Like I'm the woman who loved him 8 years ago and never stopped. And Dominic kisses me back with a hunger that's been building for 3 years. We make love slowly, desperately, like we're trying to heal each other. His hands remember my body even though his mind doesn't. Every touch is familiar and new at once. Sophia. He breathes against my neck. Don't, I say. Don't call me that. Not right now. Then what should I call you? Nothing. Just feel this. Feel us. And he does. Afterward, we lie tangled together in sheets that smell like him, and I trace the scar above his eyebrow. How did you get this? Fight. 6 months after Isabelle died. I was reckless, stupid. Wanted to feel pain that wasn't grief. Did it work? No. He catches my hand, pressing a kiss to my palm. Nothing worked. Until you. I close my eyes against tears. Dominic, I need to ask you something. Anything. The investigation into your wife's death. How close are you to finding who did it? He tenses. Why? Because I need to know how much danger you're in. I can handle myself. That's not an answer. He's quiet for a long moment. Then, I have a lead. A name. Viktor Volkov. He runs a trafficking operation. High-end companions for wealthy criminals. I think he's connected to the bombing. My blood turns to ice. How did you find him? One of the men who planted the bomb was arrested in Prague last year. He finally talked. Mentioned Viktor's organization. What are you going to do? Find him. Make him tell me who ordered the hit, then kill everyone involved. His voice is calm, factual. Why? Do you know Viktor? This is it. The moment where I tell him everything, but before I can speak, there's an explosion. The windows shatter. Dominic throws himself over me, shielding me from glass. Alarms scream through the compound. Stay here, he orders, already moving. He grabs a gun from the nightstand. Don't move. Don't leave this room. Dominic. I mean it, Sophia. Stay. He's gone, and I'm alone in our bedroom, naked and terrified, while my world explodes for the second time. I don't stay. I can't stay. Not when I know what's happening. Viktor found out Dominic is investigating him. This is a preemptive strike. Eliminate the threat before the threat eliminates you. I throw on Dominic's shirt and jeans from the floor. There's a gun in the dresser. I put it there years ago, and apparently no one found it. I grab it and move. The compound is chaos. Armed men running, more explosions, gunfire. I follow the sound of fighting to the main hall. What I see stops my heart. Dominic is surrounded. 6 of Viktor's men, all armed, all professional. He's outnumbered and bleeding from a head wound, and Viktor himself is there, standing back, watching with cold satisfaction. Dominic Russo, Viktor says in his accented English. You should have left the past alone. You killed my wife. Dominic's voice is raw with fury. I eliminated a complication. Viktor shrugs. She wasn't supposed to survive the first extraction, but she did, and she became valuable. So I kept her. Dominic's face goes white. She survived? Isabelle survived? For a time. She fought, tried to escape. Eventually, we had to put her down for real. Viktor's smile is cruel. She died screaming your name. It's a lie. A calculated lie designed to break Dominic, and it's working. I see something die in Dominic's eyes. That's when I step into the room, gun raised. He's lying, I say. Everyone turns. Viktor's expression shifts from satisfaction to shock to fury in seconds. Sophia, he hisses. What are you doing? Ending this. I keep the gun trained on him. Dominic, he's lying. Isabelle didn't die screaming. She didn't die at all. Dominic looks at me, confused. What are you talking about? This is it. The moment of truth. I reach up and remove the contact lens from my right eye, then the left. My green eyes, Isabelle's eyes, are visible for the first time in 3 years. She's been alive this whole time, I say, looking directly at my husband. Dominic, it's me. I'm Isabelle. The silence is deafening. Dominic's gun lowers. His face goes through a dozen emotions: disbelief, hope, confusion, recognition. That's impossible, he whispers. I know, but it's true. I take a step closer, never dropping my aim on Victor. The bomb should have killed me, but Victor's people pulled me out, gave me surgery, made me disappear. I've been trying to find a way back to you for 3 years. Isabelle? His voice breaks on my name. Yes, it's me. I know I look different, but it's me, Dominic. It's always been me. Victor laughs, a cold, harsh sound. Touching, but pointless. You both die tonight. His men raise their weapons. I wouldn't, says a new voice. My brother Marco steps into the hall with a dozen Merino soldiers, all armed. We've had the compound surrounded for 10 minutes, Marco says, looking directly at me. I knew it was you, Bella, at the gala. I knew. Tears stream down my face. Marco. Papa's outside. He wanted to come in, but I made him wait. Thought this reunion should happen first. His expression hardens as he looks at Victor. Take them. All of them. Victor's men are disarmed and dragged away. Victor himself looks at me with pure hatred. You'll regret this, he snarls. No, I say calmly. You will. Then there's just Dominic and me, standing in the ruins of his compound, staring at each other across 3 years of grief and lies. Isabelle, he says again, like he's testing the word. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I wanted to tell you, but I couldn't. Victor had eyes everywhere. And if he knew, you knew. Shut up, Dominic says. Then he crosses the distance between us and pulls me into his arms. We don't leave that spot for what feels like hours. Dominic holds me like I might disappear again. His hands shake as they move over me, my face, my hair, my arms, like he's verifying I'm real. It's really you, he keeps saying. It's really you. It's me. I'm crying so hard I can barely speak. Dominic, I'm so sorry. I wanted to tell you so many times. Later. We'll talk about all of it later. He pulls back just enough to look at my face. Let me see. Let me really see. I've been wearing a mask for so long, but now I let it drop. I let him see past the surgical changes to the woman underneath. Recognition floods his face. Your eyes. I knew there was something about your eyes. I had to wear contacts. Victor was paranoid about anyone recognizing me. Smart. His thumb brushes my cheek. You look different, but you're still you. Still my Bella. No one's called me that in 3 years. Hearing it from Dominic's lips breaks something open in my chest. I thought I'd never hear you say my name again, I whisper. I've said it every day. Every single day I said your name like a prayer. He kisses me, soft, reverent. I buried you. I mourned you. I wanted to die without you. I know. I saw. I've been watching you grieve and I couldn't do anything to stop it. You're here now. That's all that matters. Marco clears his throat from the doorway. Bella, Papa wants to see you. I turn to find my brother watching us with complicated emotions playing across his face. Is he okay? I ask. He will be. When he sees you. Marco's expression softens. We thought we'd lost you forever. And Russo. He looks at Dominic. I owe you an apology. I blamed you for her death. We all did. You had every right to, Dominic says quietly. No, we didn't. You loved her. That was always obvious. Marco extends his hand. Family? Dominic takes it. Family. Then Marco turns to me. Come on. Papa's waiting. He might actually cry, and I'd like to witness that. I laugh through my tears. Outside, dawn is breaking over the compound. The damage is significant. Broken windows, Scorched walls, debris everywhere. But it's also beautiful, bathed in golden light. My father is standing by one of the garden fountains, surrounded by his men. When he sees me, he goes completely still. "Papa," I say, and my voice breaks. Antonio Marino, the man who terrified mob bosses and ran an empire with an iron fist, starts crying. "Isabelle?" He takes a step forward, then another. "My baby girl?" "It's me, Papa." He crosses the distance and pulls me into a crushing embrace. My baby. My baby. I thought you were gone. I'm here. I'm okay. I'm home. We stand like that while the sun rises, my father holding me like I'm 6 years old again, and for the first time in 3 years, I feel safe. The next hours are chaos. Federal agents arrive. Marco apparently made some calls. Victor and his entire organization are arrested. The trafficking operation is dismantled. Dozens of women like me are freed. I give my statement, provide evidence, identify people. It's exhausting and cathartic and overwhelming. Through it all, Dominic stays close. His hand finds mine constantly, like he needs the physical reminder that I'm real. Finally, when the last official leaves, we're alone in what's left of his study. "I bought you," he says suddenly. "I bought my own wife at an auction and didn't recognize her. I had surgery, training. I was designed to be unrecognizable. I should have known, should have felt something. You did." I take his hands. "You said I looked familiar. You kept me close. Some part of you knew, Dominic. Not soon enough. Soon enough to save me." I kiss him softly. "You've been investigating my death for 3 years. You were close to finding Victor. If you hadn't kept searching, hadn't kept that auction under surveillance, I'd still be trapped." His arms come around me. "I never stopped looking. Never stopped hoping that somehow, impossibly, you might be alive. Well, I am. Against all odds, I'm here. What happens now?" "Now?" I lean back to look at him. "Now we figure out how to rebuild. The families. The business. Us." "Us," he echoes. "Bella. I spent 3 years in hell. I'm not sure I know how to be happy anymore. Then we'll learn together." I touch his face. "We'll take it slow. We'll figure it out. We have time now." "Time," he repeats, like it's a foreign concept. I'd forgotten what that felt like. Maria appears in the doorway, tears streaming down her face. "Mrs. Russo, you're really back." "I'm really back, Maria." She crosses the room and hugs me fiercely. I knew. I told everyone I knew there was something familiar about that girl. They said I was imagining it, but I knew. I laugh. "You always were too smart for your own good." "Your room," she says suddenly. "It's exactly as you left it. Mr. Russo wouldn't let anyone touch it. Should I prepare it for you?" I look at Dominic. "Actually, I thought I might stay in Dominic's room. If that's okay." His smile is the first real one I've seen in years. More than okay. That night, we lie in our bed, finally, truly our bed again, and talk. I tell him everything. The explosion, waking up in Victor's facility, the surgery, the training, the years of being sold and used and treated like property. He tells me his side, the fake death scene they made him witness, the empty casket he buried, the war with my family, the endless, fruitless investigation. "I was so angry," he admits, "at God, at fate, at myself. I became someone else, someone harder, colder. I can see it, the changes. I trace the scar on his eyebrow. But you're still you underneath, still the man I married." "Are you still the woman I married?" It's a fair question. I don't know. I think parts of me died in that explosion and never came back. But other parts got stronger. I survived things I didn't know I could survive, Dominic. I'm so sorry. Sorry I couldn't protect you. Sorry you had to go through that alone. I wasn't alone. I had you. The memory of you. Every time things got bad, I thought about getting back to you. That's what kept me alive." He kisses me, soft and deep and full of promise. "I'm never letting you go again." Good. Because I'm never leaving. We make love again. And this time it's different. This time we're Dominic and Isabelle, husband and wife, whole and together. This time, there are no ghosts between us. The next few weeks are a whirlwind. The media goes insane when the story breaks. Presumed dead heiress found alive after 3 years. We don't give interviews, but the paparazzi are relentless. Victor goes to trial. I testify. It's brutal. Reliving everything but necessary. He's convicted on dozens of counts: trafficking, kidnapping, attempted murder. He'll die in prison. The other women Victor trafficked are being helped. Therapy, relocation, support. I establish a foundation to help them rebuild their lives. It's the least I can do. My relationship with my father and Marco slowly mends. There's still tension with Dominic. 3 years of blame doesn't disappear overnight. But we're family again. We're trying. And Dominic and I, we're learning each other again. He takes me to our favorite restaurant, the one where we had our first date. We sit in the same booth and order the same meals, and it's familiar and strange at once. Do you remember what you said to me that night? Dominic asks. Which part? When I told you our families wanted us to marry, you said, I don't believe in arranged marriages, but I believe in you. I smile. I meant it. You barely knew me. I knew enough. I knew you were brilliant and kind and trying so hard to be more than your family's expectations. I reach across the table for his hand. I knew I could love you. Past tense, present tense. I do love you, Dominic. I never stopped. His grip tightens. I love you too. Every version of you. Isabelle and Sophia, and whoever else you need to be. I just need to be yours. We go home and make love in every room of the house, reclaiming our space, our life, our future. But it's not all perfect. One night, I wake from a nightmare, Victor's men grabbing me, the chloroform, the helplessness. I'm screaming before I'm fully awake. Dominic is there instantly, pulling me into his arms. Bella, Bella, you're safe. I've got you. Sorry, I thought. Don't apologize. Never apologize for this. He holds me while I shake. How often do you have nightmares? Every night, since the bombing. And you never told, is that the end? No. I got cut off due to length. Let me complete the story with the remaining chapters. And you never told anyone? Dominic asks, his voice tight with concern. Who would I tell? Victor's people? They didn't care. I lean into him. I learned to handle it alone. You're not alone anymore. He kisses my forehead. When you have nightmares, wake me. Let me help. You can't fix this, Dominic. Maybe not. But I can hold you through it. So I let him. And slowly, over weeks, the nightmares become less frequent. We also have to navigate the physical changes. My face is different, subtly, but noticeably. I have scars on my body from the surgeries and the explosion. One morning, I'm looking in the mirror, touching the slight difference in my nose, when Dominic comes up behind me. I miss my old face, I admit. I miss it too. But this face kept you alive. This face brought you back to me. He kisses my neck. And you're still the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Liar. Truth. He turns me to face him. Bella, I fell in love with your soul, not just your face. The face changes, but you're still you. Still my wife. Still everything. I believe him because I have to. Because the alternative is drowning in grief for the woman I used to be. 3 months after my return, we renew our vows. It's small. Just family and close friends. Maria cries through the entire ceremony. Marco gives me away again, squeezing my hand so hard it hurts. My father's speech at the reception destroys everyone. I buried my daughter once. I never want to do it again. Dominic, you keep her safe, or I'll kill you myself. Dominic raises his glass. I promise, Antonio. Never again. When we dance, Dominic whispers in my ear, this feels more real than the first wedding. Why? Because the first time, we were playing roles. Now we know exactly who we are and what we're choosing. And what are we choosing? Each other. Always each other. 6 months after my return, life has settled into something resembling normal. I'm working with Dominic again. This time officially, as his business partner. The Russo empire is shifting more legitimate, and I'm leading the charge. We're happy. Not perfectly. We both carry scars. But we're building something real. One evening, Dominic asks me to meet him at a specific address. When I arrive, I realize where we are. It's the church where we got married 8 years ago. Dominic is waiting inside, standing at the altar. "What are we doing here?" I ask, walking down the aisle toward him. "I want to ask you something." He takes my hands. "Isabelle Russo, will you marry me?" I laugh. "We're already married. Twice." "I know. But the first time was arranged. The second time was about reclaiming what we'd lost." His thumbs brush my knuckles. "This time, I'm asking because I choose you. Not because our families want it. Not because we're trying to prove something. Just because I love you and I want to spend every day for the rest of my life with you." Tears stream down my face. "That's the most beautiful proposal I've ever heard. Is that a yes?" "It's always been yes, Dominic. From the moment I met you, it's been yes." He kisses me in the church where we first promised forever, and this time, it feels true. We don't have another ceremony. We don't need one. But Dominic gives me a new ring, an emerald surrounded by diamonds. "Green," he says, "like your real eyes. The eyes I fell in love with." I wear it next to my wedding band, and every time I look at it, I remember that some love stories don't end. They just take detours. I'm standing in the nursery of our home, not the compound, but a new house we bought together. Something that's ours, not weighed down by family history. The room is painted soft yellow. There's a crib in the corner, stuffed animals on shelves, and in my arms, wrapped in a blue blanket, is our son. Dominic comes in, fresh from a meeting, and his face transforms when he sees us. "How's he doing?" he asks softly. "Perfect. He's perfect." I look down at our baby. 10 fingers, 10 toes, a tiny perfect miracle. "He has your nose. And your eyes." Dominic touches our son's tiny hand. "Green. Just like his mama." We named him Antonio Marco Russo, after both our fathers, a bridge between families, a promise of peace. "I can't believe he's real," I whisper. "I can't believe any of this is real." Dominic puts his arm around me, and we stand together, looking at our son. 5 years ago, I thought I'd lost everything. Now I have everything I ever wanted. We almost didn't make it here. But we did. That's what matters. He kisses my temple. "You survived, Bella. We survived. And now we get to build the life we always dreamed about." Our son makes a small sound, not quite crying, just announcing his presence. I rock him gently. "What are you thinking about?" Dominic asks. "About that auction. About the moment you bought me and didn't know who I was." I look up at him. About how sometimes the worst moments lead to the best endings. "You think being trafficked for 3 years was worth it?" "No. Never. But I think..." I pause, choosing my words carefully. "I think we're stronger now. We know what it's like to lose each other. We know how precious this is. I'd rather have just had you the whole time. Me too. But since we can't change the past, I'm choosing to be grateful for the present." Dominic's arms tighten around both of us. "I love you, Isabelle Russo, my wife, my partner, the mother of my child." "I love you too." I lean against him. "Thank you for never giving up, for searching for 3 years, for buying me at that auction even though you didn't know it was me." I think part of me knew. Deep down, in a place that couldn't be fooled by surgery or new names, my soul recognized yours. "That's very romantic for a mafia boss." He laughs. "Don't tell anyone. I have a reputation to maintain." Our son yawns, and we both laugh softly. Outside, the sun is setting over our garden. Inside, our family is whole. I spent 3 years being dead, being erased, being someone else. But I'm Isabelle Russo again. I'm alive. I'm home. And this time, no one can take that away from me.